Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm going to start with a dollar. Here's a daily chart. Looks like Monday we ran into traffic at the 34, running into previous highs and running into previous lows. As I mentioned before, and got kicked back. Right now we're looking at a higher lows, so maybe it's building up steam. Really doesn't feel like it. As far as I can tell, the 8 is crossed over the 13 on a daily. So it got knocked back through resistance. And 5-hour chart, looks like we got a hanging man and a flag, and looks like a bearish retracement right there. So look for downfall and breaking that trend line on the downside. See what happens. Let's stick with that trend line there. But previous low is 94.16. 94 is going to be a nice breakdown. Pretty heavy. Weekly, you can see the push towards the 8 previous lows. Let's start from up here. Broke down, came across, did a bullish retracement or a bearish retracement there. Broke down, broke previous lows, so it's bearish, and then retraced back to the 8 into previous lows, and now we're looking down. But one thing you have to pay attention to is we do have higher lows, so this could be a bounce. Could get a resurgence back through, but right now you got higher lows and then a bearish retracement right there, and it doesn't look good. Even the 5-hour doesn't look good. 5-hour is very telling, as you can tell. You got the hanging man, you got a bearish flag, broke down and came all the way back up, and now it's continuing. What's going to happen is it's going to follow that wick all the way down. 94 is a pretty big breaking point on the way down, so see if it'll hold. There you go. S&P. It looks like it's struggling. Monday it bounced across the EMA 8 and 13 and recovered, but today it had an indecision day, and doesn't look healthy as we're opening down today. Look for a previous low break at 2080, and last lines of support at 275 and then 270, and 34 is at 2050. So it doesn't look good for the S&P, and the Fed meeting was pretty dovish again. And right now on a weekly, it's only Tuesday, but it's forming a hanging man so far for the week. So keep an eye on that. We do have support at our lower highs, so that's where that last bounce was. So if it breaks through previous lows, 2075, you got support at 2050, 2025, all the way down to 2000. 2000 would be a last line of support. It's a big number right there, big emotional spot. So hopefully it doesn't close below there. Dow, same thing. We've got indecision. Nice bounce, On the 5 hour, it's right off the 34. But as I stated earlier, on a daily, that's a nice candle off of support. A hammer right off of support. But, like I said, if it breaks previous lows, then this candle is not a hammer off support, which would anything that broke above would be a continuation signal. Anything that breaks previous lows is that's a hanging man. So there you go. Keep an eye on that. Crude, bullish, right off that 34 weekly, and it's continuing. We had a double bottom all the way up, broke the 34, came back down to support. That's your bullish retracement, and then it recovered, and right across previous high break and the 34, it has not stopped. So it looks good. The 8 and the 13 are crossing as we speak. Should be across by the end of the week. So fill up your gas tank. You see some higher gas prices. Where are we going to go? Well, we're in the previous lows right now. But that's pretty bullish pattern. We got resistance at 50. We got a triple top at 54. And ultimately, we want to get into these previous lows, 56 to 61. So we've got to break into these previous lows first. But it looks pretty bullish. We got a triple top right here at 54. So 54 break off the 60. So gold, the market has opened for the next day, and it looks like it's going to make another try for the pattern. That's a pretty nasty candle right there, falling star. But it came down, recovered, made a double bottom, and now we're up above our 13, 8, and 34. So look for a pattern break as price is in the pattern, corkscrewing, corkscrew, pop, and a pop. The Fed meeting is pretty bearish, so good for gold and silver. Here we go. Silver's off and running already. The reason why I put this trend line here is because all the points that it was touching, numerous amount of points. So here's a previous high break right here, trading futures, take it for a ride. Very nice move right there. If it breaks there, it should follow that wick all the way up, make another high. We definitely want to stay above this previous high over here, which is 1724, which looks about 50% of this candle right here. So there you have it. Here's a double top break though. If I was trading it, I would use this as my support. Trading silver is awesome actually, but I'm in no position to be throwing money around like that right now. Anyways, GDX looks good. It covered the gap and it moved higher today. This previous high over here, we want to break that, and we can work on this small amount of room right here. If it closes above 23 and some change, it'll follow that wick all the way up. Looks good. Looks like miners want to move forward, but one thing you have to be pay attention to is we're breaking in the previous lows, and this thing's been running for a very long time. Let's take a look on a monthly. Here's a pattern right here. this whole pattern is resistance right now. We're breaking in the previous lows. Breaking in the previous lows. So it looks healthy. It looks like it wants to run again. And it's breaking trend on the 34 monthly, which is ultimately the goal, is to get above that 34 on a monthly. Could see 27, and let's call it 28. Yeah, doji right here. 28 to 30. That'd be a nice goal to have. GDXJ, I'm not sure what happened here. It might be just a misprint. But quite a bit of volatility on this thing. Yeah, it might be just a misprint. But it sure is coming up on every chart. Not sure what to think of the GDXJ. What you want to concentrate on is staying above this previous high, 26.77. Use that as your support. And pretty sure this might be a misprint. I'm not sure. I wasn't watching it, and I looked at it just a minute ago, and I don't know what to think. But stay above the previous high, 26.80. I got some questions on Nova Gold resources. That's a bullish 2-bar pattern. Excuse me. The bullish 2-bar pattern, piercing 50% of the previous candle, nearly encompassing the whole thing. So look for this double top break. Breaks that double top, go for a ride. Needs to break the previous candle to confirm this pattern, but it looks pretty healthy. Another way to look at it is to break that right there, but use this as your resistance. So if you take a ride on Nova Gold, breaking, let's call it 7.60, you got 10 cents into resistance. Could see some could see a bump and run or a consolidation under, so be careful. You got a line of support. Here, previous high. That's your line of support. You can see how it just bounced right off of that. You're up above the 8. Looks healthy. If GDX and the rest of them keep going, this might be a good one to run with. If you're not in it and you want to wait for this previous high break over here at 788, and then you know you're home free, as the price should follow these wicks all the way up. Got a question on this Grand Columbia Gold. As I mentioned, we want to get above this high here, which is approximately 9. If it gets above 9, you're going to be in the pattern between support and the 34 is your resistance. So it's going to be in a pattern. Right now it got snuffed out. So I think I didn't see a lot of volume on it either. So line of support right there. You're just hitting it. I'm not saying it's going to blow down, but anything's possible. But what you really want to do is get above 9, and then you have a chance to get above the weekly trend. But right now you're looking at higher lows. So if you're in it, be careful. If it breaks below the trend, just call it a day. Admit your mistakes. I know it's hard, but wait for it to get above 9. Use that as your support, and then watch it corkscrew and then pop. It's likely it'll run sooner or later because all these are anything with gold, silver, or anything like that. Everything seems to be wanting to run. I can't get a good read on the long term, so but if you can see on the monthly, it has a lot of work to do. It's got to get above our resistance lines, the 8 and the 13, so it can get a run. See, once you get above the 8 and the 13, you can use the 13 or the 8 as your support as it winds up and tries to crack the 34. So just think of it that way. Going back to the weekly, see right now, right now you're below support. So it consolidated right there for a while, but kind of gave out today. Look for a previous high break at 8.5. Stay above 9, maybe crack 10. But right now it doesn't look healthy. You got one line of support at 7. So you're almost there. So be careful. One more, which was Seabridge Gold. And actually, I got one more after that. So this is the same. Got a piercing pattern. This is a bullish engulfing pattern. We want to get above our resistance lines. Get above this previous high right here, 1421. Because you got previous lows here. So a little tougher to read on this one, but you break into the previous lows, use that as your support. This whole line is support right here. Get above 1440. Use that as your support, and you got a double top here at 1550. That's pretty. That could be construed as a hammer if it's bullish tomorrow or next week. So weekly candle here forming. That could be a nice bounce, or it could be a hanging man. So you do have tweezers top. You got tweezer tops to deal with here. That's a long wicks, double top. So just be careful. Stay above the previous high, 1425 on a weekly. Where was that line right there? 1425. You want to stay above that line on Seabridge. And I got one more, but I couldn't find it on investing.com, so hang on. Is Mill Rock Resources. All right, this is pretty bullish outside this break here on a weekly chart. 20, 18.5, 20. You want to stay above this previous high. So it's not quite there yet. Break above that and use that as your support. Ultimately, you want to break that 30. If you're not in it, buy the break at 30. And also be careful because it could be just filling the gap up to 35. So you got quite a bit of resistance at 35. So be careful when you get up there. Sell under resistance. Gaps are support and resistance lines. So that gap line right there in and around 35. Let's definitely stay above this previous high and watch for the double break at 30. But definitely it looks bullish. I mean, it's going to fill the gap and run, or fill the gap and consolidate for a while. I don't know. But there you go. So one more look at silver and gold. It's breaking that flat top break at 1735. Be a nice one. Gold, watch for a break. Stay above this previous high first. 1250. Stay above 1250. Work that break, that trend line break, and 1260 is going to be the previous high break. That'd be nice. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments. I hope I answered questions that you had, and keep up the good work. Hopefully someone said they're buying options on HL, Hecla Mining, on a multi-year option. I haven't played options in a very long time, so it definitely will in the future, but right now I'm trying to get my account to a certain point before I start playing with margins and leverage. I want to be able to trade and make money before I try to use all the fancy stuff like futures trading, options, and this and that. So far so good. My account's up. I think it was only 1 week that I was down below my initial investment, so it's going good. I'm not using margins or anything, just straight up cash, and doing pretty good. I'm gonna accumulate. I'm on my 4th one, so getting some more free trades out there. Please share, like, and comment, and let me know what's going on out there. Thanks, guys.